Floyd "Money" Mayweather is no stranger to the boxing world. He's a former 5-division world champion who, after achieving a legendary record of 50-0, retired as someone way bigger than just a Hall of Famer. But even despite hanging the gloves and saying goodbye to the pro ranks, he's still managing to make headlines and make more money than ever before. With his recent controversial moves, fighting exhibition bouts against the likes of Logan Paul or Deji in what he calls a legalized bank robbery, what else can we expect from the former champ? In the world of show business where everything is possible and fights with social media giants are a norm, what does the future look like? Presenting Floyd Mayweather versus the entire internet. Logan Paul was the first YouTuber to step into the ring with Floyd. At 6'2" and weighing 189.5 pounds, you'd think Logan would be a big challenge for Floyd. But despite Logan's size advantage, after some sloppy attempts of offense and clinching, a lot of clinching, Floyd quickly took control of the fight and put the bigger guy in his place. As the first fight of this nature, it was sure to make waves in the boxing world, with an estimate of $100 million being made from the fight for the TBE. Probably the most unexpected thus far, next up on the scale was Deji, KSI's younger brother. This fight happened out of the blue, with little to no trash talk in the lead-up. This fight didn't make nearly as much impact as the previous bout with one of the Paul brothers. It is still far from a flop when it came to earnings, as Floyd came out of the ring with nearly $10 million just for having fun against a less skilled opponent for 6 rounds. Floyd played with Deji the entire time, dancing around and taking round number plates from the ring girls. After some time of what most deemed as a boring mismatch, Deji managed to land a good punch on Floyd, leaving him with a black eye that was later deemed as a small symbol of victory for Deji, as even landing a punch on one of the best to wear a pair of gloves is something very difficult. After taking it easy most of the time, when this punch landed, Floyd finally stopped playing and quickly went for a stoppage, winning by TKO in round 6. After this match, Floyd had one more exhibition in the United Kingdom against a fighter unknown to most named Aaron Chalmers, met with a nearly empty arena during the match, making us believe he will choose opponents with more following for future bouts. Which begs the question, what other matchups can we expect from Mayweather? Let's go over some possibilities. Salt Papi is an upcoming fighter in the YouTube boxing misfits world. He's known for his dangerous knockouts and had proven to understand the basic principles of boxing very well. The Filipino star, now making noise in the boxing world, is said to be a big threat to every YouTube boxer who steps into the ring with him. But what if he stepped into the ring with the former pound-for-pound king? Salt Papi's power would not bother Floyd in the slightest. His defensive skills and his ability to avoid punches is something that no opponent, from De La Hoya to Pacquiao, were not able to solve. Salt Papi loves using sneaky counters to surprise his opponents, though it's almost an impossible task to surprise someone who had seen everything in the ring during his career. Despite decent skill, Floyd Mayweather would simply outclass everyone on this list, including Salt Papi, but the puncher's chance is always there. Despite being jailed at the moment of making this video, the controversial ex-kickboxer was confirmed to have received an offer to fight Floyd in the past, but declined out of respect for him. Standing at 6'4", with his past as a kickboxer with a record of 76-9, the experience would definitely give him an edge compared to the rest of this list. If he were to fight Floyd, it's unclear whether he would actually cause problems for the former champ. Cobra is big and heavy and has a lot of experience under his belt. With his very awkward style, it's possible he could confuse the former GOAT with how unorthodox his striking is. Although kickboxing and boxing are still completely different sports, and habits from kickboxing leave Andrew vulnerable to counters, as he often lifts his chin up in the air when throwing punches and leaves himself open. Despite how tough and experienced he might be, Mayweather would quickly take control of the fight and outbox the bigger guy. Enter the kingpin of misfits boxing. KSI is the second biggest YouTube boxer in terms of popularity and status. Despite his lead up to the future bout with Jake Paul, a fight with Floyd would sell out amazingly. Unlike Floyd's previous social media opponents, JJ is unbeaten and certainly is one of the most dangerous in terms of power. Let's be honest, despite KSI making a lot of improvements lately, he isn't the most gifted when it comes to technique. He usually depends on his wild punches to get the job done. But if he lands one of those punches on anyone, they would go to sleep in an instant. And let's be honest, they could KO Floyd if KSI managed to somehow land a good shot. The chance of that happening is low, very low, but the fight would still be exciting to watch. And despite JJ's plans of retirement after fighting Jake Paul, a payday like this isn't something you could say no to, especially after he's expressed a lot of interest in potentially fighting Floyd. The question is whether Floyd would take the risk. Although, let's be honest here again, if Money fought a much bigger Logan Paul, we doubt he'd be afraid to step into the ring with JJ. Although let's remember, Floyd is 46 and anything can happen. Still, the most likely scenario is Floyd takes control and outboxes JJ, and both guys make a ton of money together. And finally, we arrive to our final destination, enter Jake Paul. Jake is the biggest YouTube boxer in terms of popularity and status as of right now. He's fought ex-MMA champions like Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva and managed to deliver great performances against them, even knocking Tyron Woodley out cold. Floyd has already fought Jake's brother Logan, but Jake is the more skilled and experienced of the two. But this rivalry dates back to a couple years ago. During the lead-up to Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, Jake has gotten into a fight with Floyd and his security team after stealing Mayweather's hat, leaving Floyd absolutely enraged. Recently, this chapter had its continuation when Floyd and his friends tried to jump Jake, making this conflict even more personal. Recently, Jake has been in a line of fire, as his loss to Tommy Fury has been affecting his reputation negatively. However, even despite Jake losing his undefeated status, this fight would still be absolutely massive, and it wouldn't be much of a stretch to say it can still happen. And out of everyone mentioned, Jake Paul is the most likely to threaten an embarrassing loss to the unbeaten legend. Even though we personally don't really believe it. Could he do it though? The answer is, it's very, very unlikely. But this is exactly what we love about this sport. One moment can turn the entire fight around, and upsets of this magnitude can happen. Jake is known for his determination to defy the odds, so the only thing we could do is to wait and see. So, can any of these YouTube boxing stars scratch the surface of the best to ever do it? Mayweather's legacy is already cemented in the boxing world, but at least thanks to these fights, he has a chance to make some extra cash and entertain fans around the world. Floyd Money Mayweather remains a marketing genius in and out the ring till this day. That'll be it for today. For more boxing videos, make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay sharp.